And welcome back. Well, he can't wait for his segment this morning, folks. 1 point winners over the Belpost Hill Panthers last week, the magnificent Bannockburn Tigers. And here he is, the coach of the year after round 2, Dale Smyth.
I don't know, I'll be putting that into too much contest, Dick. It was a pretty close game. Halfway through the last quarter, I was pretty calm and collected, but as time progressed, the Belpost Hill boys actually made a big comeback, and it was a great game of football and played in some pretty good spirit. But Bannockburn 11-14-80 defeated the Belpost Hill side 12-7-79. Goal kicks for Bannockburn. Harrop got 4, and there's a list of other players, single goals. Better players, Dillon, Warple and Shooty. And for the Belpost Hill side, Sparks with 3, Rose, Mooring, Balaki both kicked 2. Their better players, Martinu, Miller and Olander were their better players. So a really good contest, and that's what we like to see at junior level. Out of Corio, probably not a one-sided affair out there. They kicked 23-13, 151 to defeat the Western Joey's side, 3-2-20. Goal kickers there for Corio, Wright with 8, Lane 4 and Taylor 3. Better players, Wright, Cullen and Platford. And for the West St Joseph side, Morph got 2 and Walsh 1. Better players there, O'Toole, Barber and McManus. North Geelong, the Magpies, Dick, travelling very nicely, and obviously these will be the blokes we've got to beat again this year. Played the Belmont Lions out there, 26-12, 168 to 8-5-53. Kingwell again, 7, so that's 15 in 2 games. Podner 5 and Doak with 4. P. Riccardi, their better player, with Perry and Kingwell. And for Belmont, Jan, who kicked 5, and I think he got 3 against us last week. He's not a bad footballer either. O'Connell with 3, Double Dam, Praviti and Vermeulen were their better players. Werribee Centrals, they got themselves back on a winning list. They did have trouble at the start of the year, but I think their numbers have nearly swelled and they're quite comfortable with what they've got. 9-13-67. Unfortunately, Thompson's still struggling. 2-3-15. The Werribee goals were Huggy, Harshy, Davis and DeCampi.
Huggy, Harshy?
Yes, got to tell you, they all got 2. Better players for the Werribee side was Wilson, Camilleri and Byrne. Now, Byrne was also, I think, picked in the squad for their senior side on the weekend, so it'll be interesting to see how he comes up in the next couple of weeks if he's giving it an opportunity, but very strong in the senior ranks. And for Thompson, Gardner with 2, O'Neill, Gardner and Randall, they're better players. Last game of the round and their first game for this year was East Geelong, and they played Winchelsea, who were all up and away last week. 11-16-82 to defeat Winchelsea 1-3-9. Bowman got 5 and Collins 2. And Collins, Meehan and Turnley, their better players. Sole goal kicker for Winchelsea was Lee. Their better players was Altamari, Warland and Budavalis. So, as I said, Dick, I think North Geelong will be the side to beat, but below them there's 4 or 5 sides that will contest that next 4 spots. So it'll be an interesting contest over the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Early days, Dale, early days, but yes, there's some ominous signs already, but fantastic to your blokes. 1 point winners, a winner's a winner. It must have been a fantastic feeling around the club, that's for sure. Now, the big one this afternoon, the 94.7 match of the day. It's out at the Richmond Crescent, the Kevin O'Leary Oval. It's the East Geelong Eagles, and they take on Bannockburn. Dale, East Geelong going along very nicely at the minute.
Yeah, I think they are, Dick. I'm pretty happy to be in there. I would be pretty happy to be in their shoes at the present time. I know they quoted Inverleigh as a shorter price favourite at the start of the year, but I think if they could get the odds that they were offered, would have been a fairly good bet. They've Scroblack obviously going to ease himself back in over the next 3 or 4 weeks. The players still impressed me, the ones they had there last year. You know, Chamberlain coming back in this week. They got some good kids coming. I think they picked up a couple of recruits from Bell Park. Hill was one, I think, and Sponna, a name that's I don't think they played senior footy, but they'll come through in time.
In relation to Marion Sponna?
That's him, their sons. The 2 boys have gone back there.
Fantastic.
Ryan Closser, as you mentioned before, Dick, I think he's one of the elite players in our league at the present time, and they're a very good side. Bannockburn last week, I thought they might have been a bit fleet of foot for Belpost Hill, but it just goes to show a week in football can be a long time. I suppose if there's a benefit, there's 3 or 4 blokes that could possibly come into that Bannockburn side in Woods, maybe Lewis, maybe a Ross Dando for a bit more height in defence. But if they're not trained, they're not going to be picked. And unfortunately, with work commitments to these couple of blokes, it's made it very hard for the Bannockburn boys to put them in. I know Ross Dillon and Ronnie Pilgrim are very keen to have them back on the ground. It'll just be interesting to see how they shape up. As I said, I think it'll be a close contest. Well, I'm hoping and looking forward for a close contest, but I think East Geelong at home, I think their swell will start to continue from last year. I think it was 16 or 17 on end last year. I think it's just going to roll on again this year, Dick. So I'm going to pick East Geelong in a very close game.
Look out, here come the Eagles. Jake, I noticed that Ricky O'Toole hasn't been getting amongst the best players on the ground. Is he finding it hard to settle into East Geelong, or maybe they're playing him in the wrong spot, Jake?
Oh, well, he was pretty impressive in round one, and I think he's in the goal kicking list last week. So maybe he's got a new role. We'll find out today. I guess it'll be the first time we get to see him for the year, and hopefully he can impress today. But you might be right. He might be drifting forward or playing off the half-back flank, something that I've heard rumours going around. Obviously, we haven't seen them yet, but so I certainly think he'll add the class that we know that he's got for the East Geelong side, and I think they'll be a bit too strong for Bannockburn today.
Dale, is there anybody that you can think of in the East Geelong Bannockburn side that may contest for some selection in the interleague game without putting you on the spot?
I think Closter would be very handy bloke to sort of have running around our forward line. And if you've got Dean O'Hara, I think he's going to be great. But Jamie Vennings, the young kid at Bannockburn, I've got a lot of time for, and I think he'll be a great inclusion in that squad.
Okay, and Jake, any players that have caught your eye at the moment, particularly maybe into these sides?
I suppose a few of the recruits for East Geelong might be up there as well. Chris Hickey's one that's been a high-profile signing. He used to play our VFL with Collingwood, so you'd think that he'd be one that'd get selected. And I suppose the thing you've got to consider is that Adam Scroblak is obviously the coach, so he'll have his eye under most of his players at East Geelong most weeks. So you'd think that the squad would contain plenty of East players, especially considering how good they are as well.
Exactly. Well, it certainly will be a fantastic game. There's no doubt about that. And, of course, you can catch this one live, 94.7 The Pulse this afternoon, with our great commentating team, which, of course, would be Dale Smyth, Jake Bourke and, of course, Jason Doherty. So it'll be a fantastic indeed. At 1:30 this afternoon. And I know, Dale, you're getting a magnificent audience listening to the 94.7 The Pulse, including my mum, who actually turns 95 next Wednesday, so there you go.
Well, Dick, if she's still prepared to listen to us, I reckon we're doing pretty well, because there's probably a lot of people out there that probably get a bit sick of our voice. But no, look, it's something I really enjoy, being involved in that football side of things. And look, it's good to get the quality games we've got and have a look around the leagues at different players from each club, and some of the kids coming through. That's where I really enjoy it.
Well, it'll be a great game indeed. As I said, East Geelong with their magnificent new facilities out there, they've done a great renovation and they've got some of the best looking social rooms going around in local football. And of course, Bannockburn Tigers, well, they come into the big sticks for the day, and Billy Caldo, he'll be there of course. So Billy's got his hand in a brace at the moment. He had another bad fall. He's one of your legends out there, Dale. He's got to stop falling over.
They're doing a bit of a new stand out there at Bannockburn, and he was out there trying to help out, and obviously had a bit of a tumble and did some ligaments in the hand or something, I think, to that effect, Dick, anyway. So where there's trouble, you'll find Billy Caldo.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, we're going to take a short break, pay some bills, and when we come back, we'll talk about all the other games on this afternoon. Back after this.